Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. So today is May the 14th and I am bringing you a week 2 budget update for our monthly May budget. If you're new around here, my name is Shakema. I'm a single mom using one income, and we are Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University graduates. I have been doing the zero-based budget for about, I'd say probably 7 years now, maybe a little longer. But I do budget very faithfully, and I am new to bringing the weekly budget updates. But I do want to keep everybody in the loop on how we're doing. To date, I have one student loan. That is the only debt that I carry outside of my home mortgage, and that is right at $7,245, I think. I'm somewhere around in there. I do have a goal to pay $500 extra this month on my student loan, and there are some current things that are presenting some challenges, but I do want to talk to you and share with you our week 2 budget update. Okay everybody, so here is the monthly view of my zero-based budget. So again, I'm using the MYMT personal budget worksheet tracking expenses. I found this online. I just did a Google search, found this template, and then I customized it just using the categories that I use for my budget. And what happens is on this first sheet, I have 2 columns. I'll show you. I have a budgeted column and then an actual column. And so when I'm setting up my budget, which is days before the budget I actually get paid, I am actually putting in what I think I'm going to make, or at least I put in my bills, what my bills are going to be, and then I can always go back in and put in my budgeted amount for payroll. So if you notice here, this was one of my first challenges this week. It says May 2018 updated, and the reason it says that is I went in today to do my budget for this past week, to update my sheet for this past week, and my budget sheet would not open. It was totally lost, dead, gone, something corrupted. I don't know what it was. So I was panicking and freaking out. I was like, okay, well, I'll just put in the week 2 amounts and I won't worry about the, full budget sheet. And then something said, but you filmed this already. So I actually went back and looked at my budget video to go back in and fill in all of my actual amounts. So what I'm working with for the month of May, $4,030 is my payroll deposit. That was from my once a month paycheck and my supplement. My supplement is broken up into twice a year increments. We get partial payment in October and partial payment in April. And so that's why that's $4,030. $432 in kids deposits. And then if you look down here, you will now see $190 in my unexpected gifts, money, blessings, or funds transfer. And I actually had to update that category today to include the funds transfer. And I'll tell you why in just a second. So what I'm working with for this month at the moment is $4,652. So I put in all of my monthly categories, or after I've paid all my bills, and everything populates in my yellow column. So for week 2, we had a real slow week. I didn't have a lot of expenses going out for week 2. For household and living expenses, I only had one thing go out on Thursday of last week, which was the 10th. That was my phone insurance. My cell phone insurance was $8.53. So not a lot of expenses going out there. On Thursday again, May the 10th, the kids they had gift cards from Christmas. They actually had not spent their gift cards from Christmas. So they went in to Amazon and they wanted to buy some stuff. And Alana was getting a gift for her friend for her birthday. And then she wanted to buy a book. So between the 2 kids, they spent their $50. But then there was tax and all of that. So I picked up the $4.19. That was tax for their purchases. And so that made our regular payments. And I just added that onto the category that says Amazon Prime, which is an auto draft. I just put orders there because sometimes I have to order books for school. And so that was $4.19. So we had a really slow week for regular payments. Food expenses for groceries, I had $13.59 that came out on Friday. That was for our Sunday socials, and the only reason I had to spend that in a debit is because I forgot to take my grocery money with me this week. We have so many groceries that I just wasn't even thinking about pulling money out of the envelope, but I didn't remember that I needed to get stuff for Sunday social, so I ended up having to do a debit for that. Restaurant meals, normally I don't put restaurant meals, but I have it in there this time because Friday the 11th, Jackson tested for his first degree junior black belt, and we were so tired. There were so many candidates. They had 3 candidates for second degree and 9 candidates for first degree, and we have to go through everybody's training before we can leave and their testing. So it was after 10 o'clock when we got home. And so knowing that I was not cooking, and I know some people are doing the shelf challenge, but it was after 10 o'clock. I just ordered Domino's pizza on the way home. And Jackson was sick. He's been having some trouble with his asthma all week, and he actually tested not feeling well. And so I knew that I just needed to get him home, get him a treatment, get him fed, and put him to bed. And then the kids actually had to get up the next morning and go to special teams practice for Taekwondo. So we had a busy weekend with Taekwondo. And so I just paid for 2 large pizzas. Okay. Prescriptions on Saturday. Alana was not feeling well, so she had some nose issues and just some stuffiness, and Jackson wasn't feeling good. But I took care of his medications using my benefits card. But just to get some over-the-counter medicine, I sent my older son to Walmart, and he got us some over-the-counter medicine for $5.94. So that takes care of that one for prescription. I did not budget money for prescriptions because normally I use my benefits card, but they don't pay for over-the-counter. And then as we were leaving to go to Taekwondo on Friday, and I have added in 2 categories, miscellaneous kids and miscellaneous household, that were not previously on the sheet. But since I lost my whole sheet, I just added them in now, and I think they're going to work for us. Jackson needed a new pair of flip-flops because the dog stepped on his and they broke. So we went to Dollar General and I got him flip-flops. Let's see, what was this for $23.73? The $23.73, that was for Ollie's. We're now getting to the end of our homeschool year, and I like to go in there and find testing review, EOG review for Jackson. I don't usually get anything for Alana, but I'm never on the side of town where Ollie's is. And we just so happened to be over there because we had to pick up the dog because she got her bath. And I got him 3 EOG review books, and I also got me 2 books. So that's what that is for. Ollie's, and I wrote everything down. I wrote down just some things that I needed to put on my budget sheet, so I just wrote them on a sheet of paper, and so I would remember to update my budget sheet here. And then I went to CVS and Walgreens, and I didn't have any cash on me, but I couponed and I spent $1.06 cash out of pocket. So relatively for personal expenses, $34.73. It was a slow week for us. This week, no transportation. I didn't have any miscellaneous expenses. So pretty much my total expenses for this week, or week 2, was $82.37. So that is the week in review. And now let me give you just some quick updates. Okay, so some challenges that we faced this week that's actually going to show up in week 3's weekly review is the fact that on the 11th of May, Jackson did his phase 2 for junior black belt training. And if they make it through junior black belt training, well, let me back up. When we sign up for Taekwondo, you have like a 2-year cycle to make it to black belt. I say junior black belt. He's only 9, but he's still a black belt. So you have a 2-year cycle, and we buy your gear. I spend about $285 on gear. That takes you until you get to your black belt. So about 2 years is how much you spend, you know, how long you keep that gear. For the next phase of training, when you go into black belt, you have to get a couple of things. and we didn't have prices ahead of time, so there was no way for me to know what I should budget for. So they go from a black gi to a blue gi, and the gi is $50. Now the belts are the gift from the master. He gifts the belt, so we don't have to pay for belts, but we do have to pay for the gi. So that was $50. And then you have to pay for the next set of weapons, which are sais and commas. Sais are like the knifey things, the 3-prong knives, or daggers, hand daggers. And then the commas, they are shorts, short as well, but they have like the little claw on the back of it, and you can hit somebody in the head like that, or wherever you hit them. It's just strike one blow and it's over, lights out. But we had to order 2 new sets of weapons, and they actually get real weapons. It's not like faux weaponry. So that was another $100. So I didn't plan for that in my budget because I just didn't know to plan for it. So thankfully my emergency fund is fully funded. My $1,000 emergency fund is fully funded. So what I did was I took $150 out because I already got invoiced for the gi and the weapons, and I just paid that using money out of my emergency fund. Now that would not normally be how I would do it, but that's how I did it this time. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm supposed to get a deposit for kids' money this weekend, I'm going to put what I spent on his taekwondo back to my emergency fund. Normally that's how I have to do it. I have to fund taekwondo ahead, and then kids' money funds taekwondo behind. In addition to that, I received a gift this past weekend. It was, I think, on Saturday. And it was such a blessing because I did not expect it, but it was for $50 to go towards my student loan. And so with any monies that come through our hands, of course, we always tithe. So $5 of that $50 will go to tithe, and $45 will go to my student loan, which I will pay after I'm done with this video. And so that's a blessing as well. With the paying for the black belt, I'm feeling like I won't meet my goal of the $500 extra to my student loan. So here's what I'm thinking, or here's what I did. I didn't remember that I had, what is it that I want to call, a benefit. I have a supplemental insurance, and they pay us $25 or the copay that it would take us for 5 doctor's office visits within the year of our insurance cycle. So I had not claimed my benefit, so I was able to call last week and do my claim, and I received 1 check today, which was $25. So I'm going to put that $25 back into my emergency fund, and then I filled out 1 claim today, which is going to give me $25 more, and then I'm going to get $75. That's just, it was sent out the next day after the first check. So between my benefit for my 5 doctor's visits, that's going to be $125. So I'm going to take that $125 and put that towards a student loan. And then when I get kids deposit, I'll put that back in my emergency fund. Either way, it's still going to be, the student loan will get $125 to $150. And then I can put the emergency fund back $150 that I took out to pay for the taekwondo. So that will be reflected in next week's budget. So today I deposited $75 into my checking account because I got 1 check from the claim, and then the gift check was $75. So I'm going to turn right back around and do $45 to my student loan. And then I guess I could already do I could do $65 to the student loan. Actually, I have to pay $2.50 in tithe. So I'm gonna do $62.50. $62.50. I'm gonna write that down. Let me get my pen because I have to write it down. I'm gonna do $62.50 to student loan, and I'm gonna write that in. And of course, that's for next week. So you'll hear about that for next week. So I'm gonna say $62.50. And then I'm going to just go down, and I'm doing it now while I remember because I don't want to forget. And then for my tithe, $7.50. And that's just how I'm going to do that. But again, that is for next week, and you'll see that reflected on next week's review. But anyway, I think we did relatively well for the week of just not random spending. I still have grocery money, which sometimes I struggle with grocery money this far in. So I still have some grocery money. Gracie had her bath. I did take money out of one of the grocery envelopes to help compensate for the bath. They charged me $12 to grind her nails, and I don't do nail grinding when they gave her bath. So instead of me just swiping my card, I knew I could take it out of grocery money because we are going to do, you know, using what we have at home. So we did relatively well, and everything is accounted for. So there it is. That is the budget update for week number 2. Again, there was just some things we had not planned for, some things I did not budget in, but I'm thankful that I had a way to pay for it. And then as soon as kids' deposit comes in, because I would have used that to pay for it, we will be able to put it back. Because, and the reason I paid for it now is because this Saturday coming on the 19th, they actually do belt ceremony. And so Jackson will get his gi, he'll get his belt, and we needed to have that already paid for in advance. And he's actually going to start his black belt classes tomorrow, which is going to be Tuesday on the 15th. So I needed to do some quick moving to get everything paid for. And again, normally I would just budget that out, but I didn't have those numbers ahead of time to work with. I'm taking my budgeting very seriously. I'm trying to be as gazelle intense as I can to really go ahead and just start chopping some of this stuff up. With additional things coming up that we're prepping for with kids' deposit for this week, the kids have a Taekwondo tournament coming up in June, and it's the very 1st of June. So I have to plan monies to cover that and not wait until I get paid on the 31st of May to pay for a June 2nd tournament. So I have to plan for that ahead. So kids' monies will go towards their tournament and we'll be squared away for that. And then when I get kids' money in June, they both go to camp. So I have to pay $400 for camp. It's a week long. It's the one camp I pay for during the summer. And so, of course, that will take their kids' monies to pay for that. So it's just how we do it around here. Sometimes some months require just some fancy maneuvering, but everything is covered. So that's my goal, is to make sure everything is covered, make sure everything is up to date and nothing is lagging behind. And that's my goal, as well as paying off my debt. So there it is. That is budget week number 2 of May update. If you have any questions about anything I've said, just leave me a comment below. I'll be happy to address it. But there it is. So if you like this video, be sure and give us a thumbs up. Just as, hey, we like your video. If you're new to our channel, we love to keep you as a part of our YouTube community. Hit that red subscribe button. Also hit the little bell. That way you never miss an upload from us. Thank you so much for stopping by our channel and hanging out with us for a little bit, checking on our updates and seeing where we are with our budget. And until next time, bye now.